Aloha. I am Richard Melendez, and this is The Thought Balloon on ThinkTech Hawaii. Now and then I review comic books and graphic novels, as well as discuss topics relevant to the comic book industry. I was planning on covering much different ground today, but a few things happened this week that changed my mind. First of all, this week is Father's Day, of course. Secondly, just the other day, a coworker of mine lost his father following a long illness. Both events got me thinking about my own late father, which in turn got me thinking about Starman, for reasons which you'll soon understand. Several characters have called themselves Starman since 1941. The first was Ted Knight, a scientist and astronomer who, while searching for a new energy source, creates a gravity rod, which allows him to fly and manipulate energy. He puts together a colorful costume and heads out to fight crime. Naturally. Now imagine if scientists at NASA or DARPA came up with secret identities and donned a mask every time they had a cool invention. But I digress. The Starman I'm discussing today was a series published by DC Comics from 1994 to 2001 and featured Jack Knight, the youngest son of the original Starman from 1941. Jack resented his father and the attention he gave to both his scientific work and his activities as Starman. However, Jack's older brother David looked up to their father and eagerly took up the mantle of Starman when his father retired. Sadly, David was killed in action by one of Ted's old foes from back in the day, and when the same foe came for Jack and his father, Jack fought back, cobbling together some supplies from the antique shop he operated and commandeering an early version of his father's gravity rod, which was more of a staff. Jack won the day, and he saved his father's life. And though he was reluctant at first, at his father's request, Jack agreed to be the next Starman, but on one condition: that his father uses scientific knowledge to better the world instead of focusing on superheroics. So for the next 7 years of publication, we followed Jack as he took on crime fighting and adventuring, protecting his family, friends, and their home, Opal City, from various threats. He trudged through the heroic journey, eventually growing into his role. But while this was a superhero story on the surface, it was also much more. On another level, it was a story about legacies and history. There's the obvious through line of the Starman name being handed down from one generation to the next. And additionally, through the run of the series, the history of Opal City is laid bare, as are the backstories of the Knight family, their supporting cast, as well as the stories of the others who have called themselves Starman through the years. Story elements from the past that didn't make sense were reconciled in the pages of Starman. Gaps in history were filled. Starman, a B-list character from the Golden Age, was given a rich backstory and supporting cast that holds up solidly to more well-known characters. Not only did James Robinson create a fully functional character and setting almost from the ground up, but he tied it firmly to the rest of the DC Comics universe and helped make sense of several elements from the publisher's convoluted history. But beyond all that, Starman, to me, was really and truly a story about a father and a son. It was about acknowledging who your father is and was, and accepting that. It was about the proverbial sins of the father, about finding value in between the bitter memories, and rediscovering and embracing that which was good. And Jack's father, Ted, was a good man. He was a superhero after all, but he was also a flawed man. But Jack, he was no angel either. Growing up, he chose a rebellious lifestyle instead of following the path his father would have chosen for him. No, Jack wasn't your typical superhero, but he, like his father, was a good man as well. He became the protector of Opal City, but on his own terms. And over time, he explored his contentious relationship with his father, and the pair eventually grew close. Perhaps too late, but as with real life, relationships between family members are seldom resolved the way we'd like them to be. Starman is easily one of my favorite comic works from recent history, and there's so much more that I wish I had time to cover, and perhaps one day I will. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this impromptu Father's Day edition of The Thought Balloon on ThinkTech Hawaii. I am Richard Melendez. Until next time.